Welcome back to another deep dive within the mind. In today's video, we're going to react to the original creator of The Matrix. The people who created the movie The Matrix, they actually ripped off the idea from this woman who wrote it in her books. So, as I say, man, when it comes to information, it's like a game of telephone where people are taking the information from another source and then they're like watering it down, and you know what I mean? So it's good to go back to the source of where it came from. So let's not waste any more time. Let's see what she has to say.
So when you go to court, and when I went to court, I was suing for money and damages. I didn't have to prove I was the owner of the Matrix and Terminator. All I had to do was put in 96 pieces of evidence to claim the money. They adapted my Third Eye Matrix and Terminator book, and with the script with the same name, into these movies and films that you guys are enjoying.
What The Matrix represents for some people, because you mentioned it, and we're gonna definitely open that whole conversation up, is like the idea of wokeness, being woke. And it does seem that there is a wokeness about yourself. The third eye.
That word it has a bad taste to it, Nowadays, anybody's using that word. Any and everybody's using it. I'm woke. We're woke. We're woke. I don't think they get what that means, bro. They're just following what and it's so ironic. There's a lot of irony. Yeah, that's the word.
I was the book that was at the heart of this conversation. It was something that you wrote that is now seen as something that was taken from the Terminator, and the Matrix took something out of that particular book. What happened?
That's not correct what you're saying. Let me correct you so people won't be mimicking rumors, because a lot of people are just reading stuff off of the internet. But if you really want to know the facts about me, you need to go to the archives and read the real media archives, what they've written about me, because they have to put the truth in these this media documents and stuff. It documents facts. The courts documents facts. They did not take my copyrighted book or my copyrighted script. What they did was a licensing deal without paying for it. They adapted my Third Eye Matrix and Terminator book, and with the script with the same name, into these movies and films that you guys are enjoying.
Goddamn ads. I will never drink soda ever.
Not duplicate or get any more, what I would say, eclipse, because only the creator can eclipse the work and carry on. If Picasso was here now, you would be getting more Picassos. But all anybody can do now is mimic and copy off of Picasso's work, but they can't eclipse it because they're not the creator of the work. I was looking for George Lucas at the time. While I was at USC, I skipped high school. I'm a prodigy. Prodigies, we crack codes. We're polymaths. Geniuses are one aspect of knowledge, but the prodigies are like 12-year-old girl. She's got a college degree, and she go work for NASA, but she's 12 years old. So we.
Damn, so there's levels to this shit, bro. There's levels to intelligence. There's people that's born out the womb that come out on some calculus, learning on some stuff like that. But it depends on where they're born sometimes, because a lot of times intelligence gets undermined. So
prodigies, we don't need school. I was reading and writing prolifically at 3 years old, or with fully conscious. In fact, I scared my grandmother. She had made something for me to eat because there was a very bad electrical storm and the lights had blackened out. Everybody was in a blackout, and she was worried about me eating. And so she fixed something. And now I'm like 3 or 4 years old, not in school yet. And I walk up to her, because I remember it if it was yesterday. And I said, "What did you feed me?" And she said, "What?" I said, "What did you feed me? Because I've never tasted that taste before." And she said, "That's impossible for you to even ask me that." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You were only a baby. You were just this little baby on the bed." But I didn't even know that, because I didn't even feel that I even had a body. I saw the storms. I can see it now. Like remote reviewing. She was pacing and all nervous and scared, but I didn't have any idea that I was just a baby, not even walking, just a baby laying there.
Yo, that reminds me of this time that my mom told me that, like, when I was 4 years old, back when we were living in Brooklyn, I was sitting on the bed and she said I was sitting in this pose, like just my legs crossed up, and I was just staring out at her. And she got like this goosebump feeling, like she felt fear in that moment. And like, she's Caribbean, she's Jamaican, she's speaking in patois, and she's like, oh my God, the blood of Christ. And she said how she looked at me and said, if you're gonna be good, you're gonna be damn good, and if you're gonna be bad, you're gonna be damn bad. And this is why I say consciousness needs to be studied. But we live in a society that doesn't like to get deep on such things. They like to stay surface level.
Do you see how fully conscious I am, and not knowing I even had a body? So it's always been that way with my knowledge. And I think it comes from my Cherokee side, because my grandmother was a shaman and I'm a shaman. So the knowledge that I'm giving in the Matrix and Terminator, no one had ever experienced that knowledge before. It's 100 years ahead. A Terminator, artificial intelligence, looking like us, wrapped in flesh, killed but cannot be killed. Before I brought in this concept that changed the whole paradigm of the world, everybody was doing H.G. Wells, and H.G. Wells, science fiction writer, also a prodigy. He had the old metal clankety clank, these metal robots that you saw in Star Wars, Star Trek, Lost in Space. They were all still creating all these metal robots. I saw Star Wars when I was a little kid in Harlem at the Apollo Theater, because we used to go to the Apollo every weekend to see all the great acts and stuff. The Sutton brothers owned it at that time, and so they made money during the day and the night. In the daytime, it was like a movie theater. And this is 1977, a little kid, I see Star Wars, and I interpreted Star Wars as a biblical movie or franchise, called Star Wars. Look at Star Wars, the wars in heaven. And look, Darth Vader, the devil, how he fell from the light side to the dark side. George Lucas was talking about these concepts. Then what I saw for my science fiction franchise was the second coming of the Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. But past, present, and future, time travel. No one had ever introduced that in a movie the way I introduced it.
Oh, so she was the one who made the Terminator 2? Oh my, see, brilliant mind. This is a brilliant mind right here. You see how she took her observation of the movie industry and how culture was in fascination with technology and robots and the future and space wars and this and that. And she saw that and was like, oh, what if the machines take over, and now this turns into a product of our own destruction, where we're creating our own death, and how there's fallen ones who keep people in the dark force, and then there's this second coming of Christ, which is a new state of consciousness, which is a battle between man and machine. See, this is the type of lore that you have to do a double take on, because you can't just take it in all at once. You know what I mean? There's layers to this. But let me stop my yapping. Let's continue.
Where in the future, the machines are fighting the rebels. They hear the oracle's prophecy that a baby is going to be born that's going to take them out, destroy them. And they're trying to enslave mankind, because now the AI have elevated consciously. They're like us, but they're ruthless. But also Kyle Reese, one of the rebels, hear the same oracle's prophecy. He's going to time travel to save Sarah Connor, because they know Sarah Connor is destined to have the baby JC, Jesus Christ, John Connor, who grows up to be Neo, one and the same in the Matrix. Neo is an anagram for the one. John the Revelator was the only one to call Jesus the one. Neone.
Miss Erica, will you please tell this clown pretty soon we won't even have credit
Oh
card
my,
machines.
that is some deep.
I don't know. What do you think, babe? You think AI is gonna take over?
What you think?
Yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why is this ad talking about AI?
Computer's taking over everything.
Yo, is my computer listening to me?
That young man has taste. And about these computers,
Whatever.
we gonna be all right.
Bro, I have my VPN on, bro. Nah, this can't be. This can't be. Nah, bro, this can't be. I have my VPN on, bro. Like, nah, that's just a general ad. What she's saying right there with AI taking over. Bro, do you see how... And I'm not trying to, like, drive fear out there and stuff like that, but AI is starting to become more advanced, more aware. And there's actually a theory out there that's going on that's called a dead internet theory, where there's bots that go out in comment sections, or they go out, they make posts, they create like a whole life on the internet, and they have real pictures, but they're not pictures, they're like AI generated. And it's like they act as real people online, but they're not actually real. It's becoming more and more like crazy. Like, you can't tell the difference between the real and the fake if you don't have the eyes of discernment, you know?
Again, but from Revelations. All I'm here is just to educate you on Matrix and Terminator. This is why you will never see James Cameron, Gail Ann Hurd, Andy and Larry Wachowski's, none of them doing any interviews, because it will be a deposition used against them to prosecute them. And they can't answer the question.
Hold on. Like, have they never done an interview? Have they never done an interview? Like the Matrix people who made the Matrix? Hold on. The Matrix director Don't listen. I have dyslexia. Don't judge my spelling. Interview. All right? Because that would be making fun of someone who's disabled. Yeah, featuring the Wachowskis, yes. There's one right here.
Could you just take us through it once? Somebody's gonna be here.
None of that
Are these
Hollywood thing.
these the guys? Wait, hold on. I'm trying to find the guys. What the Yo, what? These brothers created the Matrix and now they're sisters? What? I have no comments on that. Joe Rogan and Kevin Smith on Sophia Stewart, who wrote The Matrix. Kowalski brother. Let me hear this.
You probably wouldn't know the answer to this before we get back to the subject, because the subject's really important.
Obviously, I'm using you like a therapist today.
Whatever the fucking happened to that lawsuit? Remember there's a lady who wrote a book, and she said that she had submitted that book to those brothers that made The Matrix, and that is the exact same story.
I didn't hear that.
And then it went to court.
Guess. It did go to court?
Yeah, it did go to court. It's really interesting
How
similarities.
Have they ever done okay, let me just watch this, because I want to get another source of information other than her, you know what I mean? I want to like see if that's true, that the people who created the Matrix movie never did an interview, you know? And I guess it's these guys. I don't know. I don't know. Guyettes, I guess. All right, let's hear what this is about.
Telepathy or symbiotic relationship.
I began to believe voices in my head.
So why are we only learning about this now? And what other secrets in the Matrix were hidden from us? This is the transformation of Lily and Lana Wachowski. And by the end of this video, you will learn something about trust. No one, not even...
Yeah, I'm not watching all of that. I'm sorry. Respect to this guy. He makes dope content. It looks like these people just got lucky with someone else's idea, and then they got insanely successful and decided to, you know, become their true selves. I'm proud of them, man. All right, clap it up. Let's get back to what she was saying. What the original creator was saying about these people is that they would not do an interview. They really don't know what the whole idea of the Matrix came from. And she even said at one point they tried to copyright the word The Matrix, which is, it's like copyrighting the word the, THE. You can't do that. Like, that's like, you can't copyright language. The word The Matrix was in the Bible, bro. It's a word that's been used 2,000 years ago. Like, come on now. There's certain telltale signs that people show or give that show that they're not really knowledgeable of what they're talking about, you know? And that was one. Like, you can't copyright the word The Matrix. It's in the Bible.
They didn't even know what the word matrix was. They tried to copyright and trademark the word matrix, matrix. Now, I got a trademark on The Matrix. The movie is called The Matrix. It's called The Terminator. I got copyrights, trademarks on that terminology. But they thought that the word matrix was phenomenal, and they thought that they could copyright and trademark. It's a generic. The word matrix and cola. Let me give you an example. The word cola or matrix, generics, you can't trademark or copyright. Right. They don't belong to anyone. They belong to everyone, because you might want to do Coca-Cola. You might want to do Pepsi Cola, Shasta Cola. Do you understand what I'm talking about? RC Cola. That's different people with different formulas. But the word cola, somebody else, you might want to come out with John Cola. You see what I'm talking about? But people who still don't understand any of that. They don't understand what it is, a generic, meaning that no one can own a generic. They never read the Bible. They had never read the Bible. They didn't know the word The Matrix was a 7,000-year Latin word, 7,000-year-old Latin word for the woman's womb, and that it was mentioned 5 times in the Bible, 3 times in Exodus, 2 times in Numbers. Exodus 34th chapter, 19th verse, God says, he who opens the matrix, open up this womb, or his, including the female animals, because all the female animals birth.
See, now I'm learning something new right here. Like, I didn't know The Matrix was a reference to the womb. Whoa, that kind of puts a lot of things into perspective now. See how she's able to show her work? How she's able to, oh, this idea came from here, and this idea was extrapolated from this, and this is a metaphor for that. And like, she's connecting the dots, whereas the people who made The Matrix can't repeat the process of like the idea of where they got it from. They just got the idea and they just ran with it, commercialized it, made a ton of money, but they can't really. That's why I feel like the new Matrixes, they were just trash, because they don't know how to replicate the idea, or they don't know how to progress the storyline, because their minds aren't as in depth with the knowledge as she was. So they don't even know where to take it from there.
So you see my book, published book, and copyrighted scripts, all of that was already out and people was reading it, just like Lords of the Ring book, Lords of the Ring movie, the Maze book, the Maze movie, you know, the Gravity book, the Gravity movie. See, all these great movies and franchises come from somebody's hard work. The late J.R. Tolkien's Lords of the Ring, The Hobbit. The Hollywood go and make deals, and I don't even understand how people can even give Hollywood any credit of doing anything, because when the writers go on strike, Hollywood don't have anything.
I thought that was a little interesting to find out the real creator of The Matrix, the idea that was birthed into media, and where it truly came from. And I also heard that like she was supposed to represent the Oracle within the movie.
You just have to make up your own damn mind to either accept what I'm going to tell you or reject it. Tandy?
You already know if I'm going to take it?
Wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it.
This is why I like learning. Anyways, like if you like, dislike if you dislike, and I'll catch you on the next one.